guys, so today I want to share another story with you. Today I want to talk about Vanderpump Rules, Scheana Shay and Tom Sandoval, huge ego problems, plus a quick review of last night's episode. Let me start out by saying, I think that people forget that there's many kinds of interventions. People just focus on all the drug addicts. They give all the attention to the drug addicts. Intervention, sit down, these are the ways that you're impacting my life. But there are nut job interventions. I mean, I gave my friend one in college before. There are different kind of interventions, and Scheana Shay needs a nut job intervention. Why aren't her friends doing anything about it? They're giving all of their attention to Kristen. Oh, Kristen, we're not going to talk to you. Oh, Carter's bad for you. Who gives a damn about? You have a bigger problem on your hands, and it's called Scheana Shay. I mean, I'm serious. All of Sheena's friends needs to get her in a room, read from a piece of paper, just like a real intervention, and be like, listen, your nut job ways, it's affecting my life. And if you don't get help for it, then, I'm cutting you off. I can't take it anymore. We all love you. It's time to get help, Scheana. Because last night's episode was a farce, people. Okay, so what happened in last night's episode? Okay, so Scheana starts out talking to Lisa Vanderpump about how she's upset with Brett because he called her boy crazy. And to be honest, he probably should have left off the boy part and had a conversation about her being crazy, but she's upset because he called her boy crazy, and she feels that it's being disrespectful to her. And so Lisa Vanderpump, throws her into the fire, says, you know what, you need to have a talk with him then, darling, but it has to be relaxed and peaceful. No, you're not going to send a crazy person into the room to have a civil, relaxed conversation. Really, Lisa? I like you a lot. But that was the worst advice you ever given anybody. So Queen Nut goes looking for Brett. And I'm calling her Queen Nut these days until she can return to the old Scheana that we all know. The dumb one. She's never been that bright, but I'd rather her be dumb and that's it instead of dumb and crazy. It's too much. So Queen Nut finds Brett having a drink with all of the guys. She comes up in there and she's like, can I borrow him for a minute? Somebody should have said no. They all know she's a nut job, but they don't. They give her the floor. Go ahead. Go talk to Brett. Okay, so she tells Brett how upset she is because he called her boy crazy. Okay, so he was like, she's like, you're being mean to me. I'm not liking the way you're treating me these days. In so many words. He apologizes. She goes, remember this guy? She pulls out a phone and proceeds to read every text message he's ever sent her saying nice things about her. Things that men say when they want to get laid. But she really thought that, he really meant those things. It's kind of sad in a way. That's why an intervention needs to take place. So he apologizes, but in words only. Do you think that he still doesn't think she's a nut job? No, there's no hiding it. It's like an intervention needs to take place, people. It needs to take place. Then after she calls herself clearing the air with Brett, she goes back to her apartment and meets with her new set of enablers, okay? Now, I compare Sheena's life to intervention. Just like drug addicts don't get high just by themselves, they always have enablers encouraging them to do these things. Same for Scheana. Now she has a new group. It's the new girls. It's Charlie and Danica. And so she goes back to her apartment and they really, I'm not making this up, shared nut job stories. Now, don't quote me on this. I believe it was Danica that shared her nut job story first. She tells the group that her ex, the one that she pushed in Sir, because he wanted a threesome, and she ended up getting suspended because she pushed him while she was on the job, that he tried to give her rent money, and she all was forgiven. She took the rent money and slept with him again. Now listen, nut job story, I don't think I would have told anyone that, because it really reminds me of like maybe a Trick and John situation. He gives you money and you sleep with them and all's forgiven. Okay, so she shared her story. Then there's Scheana sharing her stories about how Brett, she was so upset with Brett and how he should be nice to her because she brought him a iWatch. Why do these women keep giving men the gifts? Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? And of course, throughout the whole process of nut job swapping, Scheana reminds everyone every chance that she gets that she cannot stand Dana. Okay, she doesn't like her at all. makes it no secret, and now the other two are leeching on, and of course, they're not really fond of Dana either, okay? So let's move on to the biggest storyline of last night's episode, and that would be the whole Tom Sandoval and Stassi storyline. Okay, so first of all, I feel like Tom and Ariana, both of them, him and his girlfriends, they're taking some kind of jackass pills because these two are changing right before my eyes. I used to like them so much, but there's no getting around it. They're turning into two jackasses. For last week, it was Ariana for scolding Lisa. Okay, she scolded Vanderpump for being mean to Tom, even though, she gave him ownership in the Tom Tom bar. Forget all that. You're being mean to my little Tommy. Okay, and now this week, it's Tom himself. I mean, he is losing it, people. He is losing it. So in this episode, Stassi wrote a book, okay? In the book, I'm not making this up, people. She talks about how she's having sex with men and while having a bush. Now, I didn't know that was possible, so I really got to get that book. It looks like it's going to be really inspirational. Okay, so she wrote a book and she's having a book signing at Tom Tom. So she gets an okay from Lisa and she gets an okay for Schwartz. But somehow, after them giving her the okay, they realize they don't have enough bartenders for the event. And so this is when Tom spazzes out, people. Ego spaz out, okay? And I'm talking about Tom Sandoval. He sends Stassi this ego. I'm going to call it ego spaz text message. And the reason I'm calling it an ego spaz is because let's just get to the bottom line here of what's happening to Tom Sandoval. His ego's getting out of control, people, because he owns 5% of the bar, okay? 5%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't handle it. We hear 12 times per episode, I'm a bar owner now. I demand respect. I must dress a certain way because I own a bar. Everyone must treat me a certain way because I own the bar. But let's be real, okay? That's Lisa's bar, okay? What's 5%? And by the way, Schwartz owns part of the bar too, and he doesn't act like a jackass like you. I mean, you can't handle 5%? So as Schwartz is talking to Sandoval, basically he's telling him stop being a jackass during the event. Stassi stops signing books, okay, comes over and spazzes out. And now they have a fresh new problem for Lisa to solve, okay? Because she's the babysitter of the show. That's what she does. The babysitter really does need to step in again. These two were screaming at the top of their lungs during Stassi's book signing. And people were like staring at him. It was wild. It was really wild, people. So that's my quick review of last night's episode of Vanderpump Rules. So what I want to know today in my comment section is, number 1, who really thinks there's something wrong with Scheana? And number 2, who thinks that becoming a bar owner is really changing Tom Sandoval? Not Schwartz, Sandoval. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.